What's up, people? Welcome to this episode of the Buy the Hood podcast or webcast because I don't know how you're consuming this content. I'm your host as always. My name is Jimmy, and as we start off every show, that's with gratitude. Just want to say thank you to everyone who supports anything we got going on. Special shout out to the students in Buy the Hood University. Also, special shout out to all the students in the Buy the Hood ownership camp that started. It's been amazing. I want to say salute to all the youth that are in there as well as the parents that are helping us out. It's all appreciated. My partner Crown's here with me as always. Cole, what's up, bro?
Yeah, what's going on? Every day above ground is a good day. Don't complain about being alive.
Yes, sir. I see that black wealth is black power. That's what we talking about today, man. You know what I mean? Also shout out to my brothers, man, for our special project, man, the MDC, bouncing off the 20. For those that, trade options, we look for stuff that's bouncing off the 20, but that's either here nor there. But listen, our show is designed to highlight brothers and sisters who do amazing work in the community, who are building businesses, just doing anything positive, man. We got a very, very, very special guest with us on this episode, man. We got our brother Mark Smalls here. Mark, man, first and foremost, I gotta say, man, Mark is like family, man. Your wife, man. We go back since we was kids, man. Your family supports everything we do. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you before we start, man. Both of your kids have been through our camp. Your daughter's a genius, by the way. She's one of the smartest students we ever had. I don't know if she takes after you or her mom, but I'll let y'all argue over that.
No, man. Let her tell it. Let her tell it. It's her.
But Mark is doing amazing work in the real estate space too. So we wanted to bring him on and have a conversation about what he's got going on in real estate and to tell his story, man. So Mark, man, thank you for joining us, good brother.
No doubt. Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely, man. So listen, before we get into the stuff you got going on in real estate, tell us a little bit about your background. Where are you born, raised, and from, and all that kind of stuff.
All right. Pretty much born and raised North Philadelphia. Born and raised pretty much all my life. Of course, I moved to the northwest side of things, uptown, when I got married. A little bit before I was married as well. But primarily raised in North Philly.
Okay, what part of North Philly though? Around where?
Allegheny Avenue, 32nd Street.
Okay. That's
right by the depot.
Yep.
Yeah. Stuff around there going for like 300 right now. That's crazy. Like I seen some numbers up there.
Oh yeah. It's a beautiful thing. As a matter of fact, we'll get to it later. But I say about 2 years ago, I just purchased my first property around the way. So definitely trying to buy that hood. Definitely.
Yeah, no doubt, man. All right, so what schools did you go to come up around that area?
Oh, I'm sorry. So pretty much, I started out over in Cardinal Doherty for high school. Went to Catholic school all my life.
Okay.
Went to high school I went to high school to Doherty until they kicked me out. Then I moved they kicked me up out of there. Then I moved over to Overbrook, the great Overbrook school, class of 92.
All right, that's what's up.
After that, I was real undecided on what I wanted to do in regards. So I was tried out for the Air Force, took that test, couldn't pass it. So then Clarion, I got a hook on Clarion University. They said, "Oh, come on down." I said, "I'll be there." So I did a year in Clarion, came back home, man. It's crazy out there, man. Too much snow. So I had to come back to the crib. Came back home, didn't know what I was going to do. It was a long journey with my college career. So I came back home, started taking classes, community, getting my classes in. And then took another shot at Westchester. My buddies at Westchester. One of my closest friends went to Westchester. And they took a shot on me. So I went to Westchester. Went part-time, took a job out there at a residential treatment facility, had them pay my college tuition, opted out part-time until my school was paid. And then, now here we are. Got me a college degree and I'm debt free.
Hey, that's actually a pretty smart idea. So you got your college degree, but you don't have any debt with it, right? So, you got a job to pay for it.
Yep. As a matter of fact, I came out of school probably like $2,000. I took a loan out. I think my last semester for like $2,000.
But dog, these days,
I rocked that out. That
$2,000
was
after
real.
getting
That
a
was real
degree.
simple.
I'm about to say, like, damn, like you came out lucky as hell.
Yeah, I'm talking about $2,000 when you got a degree. Like that's unheard of these days, man. So, you know, salute you for that. How did you make the transition? All right. So, first of all, when you were in Westchester and got your college career, what were you majoring in?
I was majoring in elementary ed, as a matter of fact. So what I was, get out fast. I said, man, let me just take this what a general studies degree, and I had, God knows, I mean, a bunch of classes. I did every class except student teach. So I graduated with a minor in L.Ed. as well.
All right. So here's my question. You know, we know you from being in real estate and all that kind of stuff. Was that something that was taught to you from family, or how did the real estate thing come to be a part of your life?
So like I said, me and my buddy, we always was we was, I mean, from the onset after college, we was always interested in real estate. He took the leaps and bounds first before me. He purchased probably like 2 or 3 properties before, I was able to get into it. But with friends, it's always like a quiet competition, and when you got friends. So he's like, "Yo, I got mine." I said, "Well, I gotta go get mine." So went out and I went and purchased my first duplex. As a matter of fact, purchased my first duplex. Uh, and then it was, I think that was 18 years ago. As a matter of fact, I purchased my first duplex 18 years ago, man, and it's been on and popping. I did have setback. I had one setback dealing with some shady characters in regards to trying to get rich quick schemes on real estate, but I bounced back from that. That put me in a hole for a minute, but I bounced back.
Okay, so let me ask you this question, right? So you said it's kind of competition that got you in. So you saw a friend that was doing what they had to do, and you said, "Let me get into this." So it was competition. That's actually a good thing, though. It wasn't hate.
Yeah.
You didn't hate on them. You said, "Let me do my thing too."
Let me do the same thing instead of trying to
aspire,
right?
And we looked at it as motivation, but it was more. I mean, we looked at it as more competition, but it was more of a motivational thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was motivation. We motivated each other, and we got it done.
That's dope. That's dope. So the first one was a duplex, and so how was it becoming a new landlord though? What kind of journey was that? Because now you jump from not being in the real estate, you got inspired by a friend, but now you're a landlord. What was that like becoming a landlord?
Oh man. As a matter of fact, what I learned in regards to becoming a landlord, man, it's all about how you teach it, how you treat your property and how you treat your tenants, man. I really, in that property, I've had to, in 18 years, I had to evict two tenants. Most of my tenants are there long term. It's all about how you maintain a property and how you treat your tenants. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's talk about that though. What are some of the things, like, for people that are watching who are like aspiring landlords or what have you? What kind of what would you say?
So pretty much how I deal with my clients, I always, in regards to the leases, I always put a late payment fee. But man, I got clients who might, pandemic, for instance, this guy lost his job, and pay me when you can. You know what I'm saying? And when you had that rapport with your tenants, it's better. I mean, it all depends on the situation that you're in. Of course, you don't want to put yourself in a hole, but he's not putting me in a hole. So I'm like, pay me when you can. So I don't have any problems when it comes to, getting paid. He pays me when he can. I mean, I don't charge him a late fee. I always put on my leases that, you had to, you have a late fee. But listen, I understand the situation. I'll waive that late fee. Pay me when you can. As long as you pay me within the month, we're good. You know what I'm saying? It's
so
all
for. So you're being reasonable, basically. So the question, did you learn that over time, or was that like something that you started off with, or how did you come to be like, good at being a landlord? Like,
pretty much experience. You learn through experience. So you know who to do that with and who not to. Like I said, in 18 years, man, and I never had to go legally evict anyone. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing too. It's all about how you treat people. Also, I got a background in social work, so I do it every day, all day. So I know how to deal with people. I know how to when to push the button and when not to, and then when to ease off. When to push the gas and when to ease off the gas on people. So it's not really that it wasn't really that hard to get them out. One person, I just put a letter on their door, tell them you gotta leave. They left. Another person told them you gotta get out within 30 days. They wasn't out. I was in changing locks. You know what I'm saying? Which that worked out in itself too as well. But you just gotta know who you're dealing with, and and how to deal with people.
Got you. So
that's the major. That's where I've been able to excel in becoming a landlord. And I love being a landlord. It's not even a hard thing to me.
Okay, got you. Because I mean, some people when they first start, they have like you hear horror stories and they like, look, I don't want to be a landlord anymore. But you've had
I don't want to be one at all, dog. I don't think, like, Mark know my folk, man. I'm too hostile for that, man.
Yeah, like and that's where putting the pedal on the gas. When to pull off, when to pull, when to hit that gas. So I feel you. Like I said, right now I have two duplexes in a single family, and I really treat my properties as if I live in them. You know what I'm saying? I treat them like that because in actuality they're yours anyway. You know what I'm saying? So and then when you have a lot of access to the properties, you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? If they tearing something up and all. So I like to be real hands on in regards to the properties, so that
but you know what though? You said
sorry?
something that's interesting. You said I treat my properties like I live in, right? And
exactly.
Doing this podcast and just talking to a lot of people in business, I've heard that, but I've also heard folks say, I'm not living there, so I'm only going to put X in there. I'm only going to do this because I'm not living there. And it's a different mentality. Your mentality is I'm gonna treat it like I live there. I'm gonna give you. So you're talking about giving them a quality product, and so I guess that helps in the long run.
Definitely, you get your money on time. I have clients. I really literally have tenants who track me down at the first month to pay me. You know what I'm saying? And then I have clients and I'm saying it's like clockwork. Like I got a client that pays me every 2 weeks, clockwork. As a matter of fact, before we started this process, the money was coming to my cash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all about how you treat it when they, you know what I'm saying? And I make sure I keep it reasonable. I get there in a reasonable amount of time, so they know that pretty much I'm on it. I'm on. Pretty much keep maintaining the home. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm there. They call me for light bulb. All right. So of course I'm not changing light bulbs all the time.
I'm about to say, man, be careful, man, because I don't want your tenants watching. I don't want your tenants listening to this. Like,
Mark, I didn't change the light bulb.
He gonna change light bulb.
Maybe that was too extreme. But they get locked out, man. Listen, I got a tenant, man. He called me the other day. I got locked out. All right, man, I'm there. Boom. You know what I'm saying? No fees or nothing. I'm saying, because I know how it go. As long as you pay me on time every month, man, we good. That's
so they pay you on time.
And if you can't, yeah, and if you can't, I'm like, just communicate it with me. Communication is the key. I'm like, you can't pay it. All right, when can you pay? I'll pay the 6th. All right, no problem. No late fees. We don't need that. Just pay me my money. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So you own single family homes. You own duplexes. What's your preference?
I love single family. I own more duplexes than I own single families. But I love single families because I don't have to pay that refuse tax. Refuse tax really, refuse tax, man, it's a ripoff. But the city getting it, so you gotta pay it.
And for the folks that don't know what that means, who maybe not from Philadelphia, if you have a multifamily home in Philadelphia, it's a tax you pay on that. So that's what he's speaking of.
Yeah, it's a because they have to pick up one or more units.
Yep.
When you have one or more units, 2 or more units, you have to pay a tax because you're picking up more trash.
For trash pickup?
Yes.
Per se.
Oh man, that's goofy.
Say again?
Hey, listen, man. Give Sam his cut. You don't want no beef. But anyway, no.
Yeah,
So,
you're right.
So hold on though. So you like single families, right? So for that reason, also
Yeah.
single families traditionally, probably not anymore though. They used to be more liquid. So if you have to sell, a lot of times it's easier to sell a single family at market rate because you might sell to someone who wants to live there, or you might sell to another investor. It's just a bigger pool. But all right, so that's interesting, man. That's interesting that you got into real estate because of a competition, but now this is part of what you do overall. So along this journey, right, of going through what you went through about the Air Force, going to school, and then you kind of like came into real estate backwards. It wasn't your plan initially. What has been the biggest hurdle or obstacle, or something you had to overcome to get you to where you are now as an investor?
Right now, I guess my biggest hurdle is finding the right team. And when I say the right team, I'm talking contractors, man. That's my biggest hurdle, man.
You are speaking my language.
And I was about to say, I know you know.
Hey, listen, man, you have fired. I'm not gonna no names. We fired the same guy.
Yeah, we fired the same guy. He started off good, but then he just went downhill, man.
No.
And that all comes along the line of finding the right team. He didn't have the right team.
Yeah.
He's always searching for the right team. And it hurt his business. So that's major for me. Is the construction thing, because that can slow down your process, slow down the morale. It slows down it slows down my. I go in the dumps when I gotta deal with contractors, man.
Yeah.
They put me through the ringers. I don't know what it is, but they just put me through the rings. And I'm learning slowly but surely how to be my own general contractor, not putting everything in one contractor's hands and just playing, pretty much playing the GC. And I got my GC license, but I just don't know why, why I just won't just go and just become a GC. But
all right, let me ask you a question about that. Let's talk about that, right? Because somebody's watching this might be interested in real estate, and they're probably trying to decide, should I get my GC license or not? What made you go get the license?
It's crazy because like I said, my buddy, once again, he said, yo, we having a class, we're having a class for, you pretty much have to take that, what's that, 40 hours of training. I forgot the name of it. Become your GC license. To get your GC license, you have to take 40 hours of class of training.
It's an OSHA thing, right?
OSHA 30. I'm sorry, OSHA 30. We had a class at the office, the real estate office. Said, yo, sign up. I signed up for it. Now, I can easily just go ahead and grab my GC license, because all you need is really pretty much is your OSHA 30. You start with your OSHA 30 and then go from there. Of course, get your insurance, and then file for your GC license.
So, in your opinion, if somebody is becoming an investor, is that something they should do, or does it depend? Or what's your perspective? Like, if someone's asking you, I'm becoming an investor, should I go get my GC license? What would you say?
I would definitely let them know. Please, you want to. I would tell them to explore and see how they feel about actually. And it all depends, and it's all about time too. If they have that time, like now I have time. I find that I can make time to really deal with some of these contractors. So it really all depends on their time and time management. If they can manage that time, because really when you become a GC, you're really hands-on. You're hands-on a project, and I've learned, you really got to be there. If not 24 hours, you got to be there at least, when it starts, maybe in the middle, to make sure that your contractors are actually doing the job. And then you might even want to check up on them at the end, so daily process. So you really got to pay attention to that, so if they have that time and time management and they're good at that, I would highly recommend them to get their GC license. It's not really that difficult. OSHA 30, and then rock out and go from there.
Okay. All right. Cool. Good information right there. It really depends upon your time commitment. Your time commitment. So that's another thing is funny, right? Because a lot of times when you hear people talk about not wanting to be a landlord, they always talk about the tenant or not wanting to get in real estate in general. But my experience has been yours. My bad stuff isn't with tenants. Not that I don't have horror stories. I could do a whole podcast horror stories with tenants. But the biggest nightmare has been contractors with me as well. So we kind of relate on that. So I'm glad you said
that's been my obstacle. That's been the obstacle in every project that I've done. And I also got to say, every time somebody moves out of my properties, I go in there and just tear it up. I got this whole, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I gotta.
No. Let's talk about that, right? Because another mistake I've made just in my journey, in my history, is trying to go over other people's work, right? So even when I buy a property, a lot of times, like people say, I look for the lipstick. So lipstick on put some lipstick on it. And that doesn't work for me. I gotta tear everything out and do it because I need to know what's behind the walls and all that. So that's something that you do too now.
Well, with my duplexes, mostly whenever they move out, most of my tenants stay, over, I would say, over 5 years. So more likely it's all about monetization. You get more money, on your rent. I'll go in there and rip it all out and go start all over. Bathrooms, kitchens, depending on what the living rooms, dining rooms look like. But there tearing it up, making it look modern for the next tenant, and then the rents increase. So I found that has worked for me. The last 2 unit that I bought, everything in there was I bought that brand new. Everything I took that to the studs. I was trying not to. I tried real hard, but I said nah, work.
Well, let me ask you this question, right? I like to ask landlords this question too. How often do you raise rents?
Oh, that's something I really do have to get more knowledge on, and I have to get better at, because I don't know last time I raised my rents, in which I know I'm leaving money on the table, but I'm cool with the money I'm making, so it's really not that bad. If I had to, I might just go up on one this year probably.
But you know what? No, I asked that question for it's partially me trying to figure that out too, because I know that a lot of folks who have told me like, yo, you're losing out on money because you don't raise rents. But if I have someone that's paying consistently, I'd rather keep that. As long as if my bills go up, it's different. But as long as my bills are still cash flowing, so I always like to figure that out. Like, how often do you raise rents? Because some landlords have it built in, like, yo, every 2 to 3 years, I'm going up X amount.
They have a formula with it. A lot of people have formulas with it. Me, I'm more of a, I like when I make it on this property, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Like you said, cash flow. That cash flow. It's like, I'm cash flowing. It's a positive cash flow. It's a positive, and it's something that I can work with. All right, we're gonna rock with it. I can keep it there.
All right. Cool. Another question for you. Are you licensed as an agent too, right?
Oh yeah, licensed realtor. Yep, licensed realtor.
All right. So let's talk about that. What made you get the real estate license throughout this process of being an investor? And also, the first thing is, do you think it gives you a benefit as an investor? And 2, do you recommend investors get licensed?
Okay. So I'm a licensed realtor, and this is how I fund all of my deals, pretty much. Real estate. No other funds, no other funds come from my, I get no other money from any other. Well, I'm not gonna say that, but most of my money, I would say 80% of the money that I use come from proceeds from selling real estate. And I would everyone to go get your license, make the money, and then throw it right back into your own personal deals, because as a realtor, deals are going to come across your table all the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what funds my deals is my proceeds from real estate.
Okay, that's a good response right there. So you recommend as an investor, get your license. Get your license.
Get your license, man. You gotta get your license so you can start funding your own deals, and you're in the know. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, and you're gonna know different wholesalers. You're gonna meet a lot of people. You're gonna put yourself in the real estate community. So you might as well just go ahead and get your license, sell houses, buy and then buy houses. Go from there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's good advice right there. Let me ask you
Yeah.
this, right? So,
Mhm.
along this journey, what is your favorite book or a book that's inspired you?
Shucks. Yeah. I'm not big on reading. But you guys are getting me. You guys threw me a lot of recommendations on books, so I've been reading more. The last book I read was what's that? Shucks, Babylon.
Richest
Rich
Man in Babylon.
Babylon.
Richest Man in Babylon. Yeah, I the only times that I really take time to read because my schedule is so crazy is when I'm on vacation. My wife my wife hates it. She hates she because I'll take a book and grab. She loves the beach, so I take her to the beach and I grab a book and read, and she'd be like, "Yo, you're not doing anything with me. You're just reading." So, yeah, I read
No,
that.
listen,
That was
that's my
inspiration.
happy place. On the beach with a
Yeah.
book. That's my happy place, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, but I wish I need to commit more time on reading. But that was the last book I read, and of course, Rich Dad Poor Dad. That was
Yeah.
the that was that was the that was the that was the battery in the back. Really.
Yeah.
Because
So those are
like
two
I said,
those are two classics. Richest Man in Babylon and
mhm.
Rich Dad Poor Dad. Those are two classics.
Yeah,
So
Rich
can't
Dad
go
Poor
wrong
Dad.
there. So listen, man.
Rich
So
Dad Poor Dad had me buying the rat race game and everything, man. I bought the series, man. Quadrant,
Yeah, you sent
cash
it. You
flow
sent it.
quadrant, and all that, man.
Yeah, listen, you sent it for the kids, man. We appreciated that, man.
yeah,
No
thank you, bro.
problem, man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, no
Appreciate
problem,
that.
man. I'm telling you, that book had me buying everything, man. I was a Kiyosaki fan after that, man.
Yeah, yeah, man. Let me ask you this
Yeah.
though. I know that because me and you talked, and you were telling me about the commercial property that you're working on.
Yes.
Is that something that you're looking to get more into in the future? Like, so what is the future for you? Are you trying to move into the commercial space, or you just going to take whatever comes along? What's the future look like for your real estate business?
So right now, currently, like you said, we had discussion about a private, a mixed use property, commercial around the bottom, one unit upstairs. I'm looking, man. I look at it like this. I'm looking to gather one something. I'm looking to gather something new in every probably every. I'm trying to work on a project every year, and it really doesn't matter what comes across my table, as long as it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? As long as the dollars make sense. But I would love to get into like a 4 plus unit property next. I would love to do that. I'm just trying to get through this mixed use property. But
Hmm.
next probably definitely be looking to get into something 4 units or more.
Okay, so your goal is to always
Also would
have a
like to
project.
I'm sorry.
I say your goal is to always have a project that's currently working.
Yes, always, always, always. I'm looking to make this. I'm looking to get make this a career change, man.
Got you, got you.
I would really like to make this a career change, because I can move when I want to move, and I don't have nobody tell me what to do. I'm my own boss, So
Got you.
I definitely love to do that. Um, but yeah, I also wouldn't mind. I never had a partner deal. I never partnered up or nothing, so I might look into like partnering on a deal, for something like a 4 plus unit, something like that. No,
Okay, so
you know, I'm learning that it takes more than one person to make a team. So I need to start,
hey,
branching
listen,
out.
that's how you scale. You scale by,
More.
because you create time by scaling by partnering. So anybody
Yeah,
with some multiple units, man, make sure you hit mark up. You got them
Yeah, right.
doors. So
yeah, four
Corey, you got
plus,
any
man.
questions
I'm
for the
with it.
brother? Corey, you got any questions for the brother?
Oh, for sure, for sure. So you said you were a landlord before 2008. How did the 2008 stuff affect your business?
Oh, all right. So, like I said before, um, I was on one deal. I learned from that, and that's another thing. Learning. Your L is learning. It doesn't stand for loss. It stands for learning. Because I was in the deal around 2008, as a matter of fact, right before 2008. It had to been 2006. I'm working with a group who was responsible for purchasing acquisition and repairing a property. Um, and I got pretty much burnt. 2008 came around, man, short sale, that set me back, man. That set me back a long time, And I, you know, pretty much with that process, man, it was definitely a learning situation. And you know, I knew what not to do, you know, next time. So, and it took me years. It took me years to get back, but I got back, man. I got back, and I'm full force now.
So how did that help you prepare for 2020?
Pretty much, don't. I would say I wouldn't over leverage myself because you don't want to put yourself in a hole. You know, always try to keep some cash liquid. Always try to keep a property that's free and clear if you can, only if you can. But I learned, you know, pretty much always try to always try to keep something free and clear, you know, because you don't want to take on too much debt. You don't want to take on, you know, if you got to crash and nobody's paying rent, you know, how you going to get your money, you know, and always have a savings, always have a savings. You know?
You just said something I want you to kind of like, you know, build on, right? Because I've seen landlords who live off of their rent checks, right? So when they get their rent, that's how they pay all of their bills. But you said you should always have cash liquid as a landlord. I want you to talk about that because I think that's important to point out because 2020 exposed a lot of folks.
Yeah.
They missed a couple rent checks and their whole business folded. So talk about that.
Yeah, pretty much. You always gotta have a savings, man. You gotta have some money because you know you don't want to. You never want to. You know, pretty much. You don't want to. You know, have to. You know, rely on someone paying your bills. I mean, that's pretty much. You know, that's like having a job, really. You know what I'm saying? You rely on somebody else. You don't want to rely on nobody else to pay your bills, man. You always want to have some cash on hand because you don't want to get into the situation where their downfall becomes your downfall. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, once they go, if you relying on them, then you stuck. You're your own. You know, so yeah. I always keep cash. You know, keep liquid, man. Keep a property free and clear, man. So if anything ever happens, man, you always go to a bank, you know, and borrow against it or whatever in emergency situations. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Great advice, bro. Yeah, man. So listen, man. This story is pretty dope, man. Everybody has their own journey, and I like your journey. I like the idea of having a friend that's doing something. You're like, yo, I'm gonna do this too. Like being inspired.
Yeah.
I think that part of your story is pretty dope. And also, I like the fact that you shared about treating people well, man. If you just treat people well, that'll always come back to you. I think that's amazing to hear it from a landlord. So, just want to say, man, thank you for sharing your story, man. We definitely appreciate you, man. And for the folks watching or listening, we're going to put all his contact information. Yeah, we're going to put all his contact information in the show notes and all that. But what you going to say, Mark?
No, and you know, I always took, you know, what my father always told me. He always told me, like, you know, better than some, you know, better than some. I'm sorry. Better than some, worse than others. You know what I'm saying? And I took that and
better than some. Better than some, worse than others.
Worse than others. That's
I
right.
like that. Better than some, worse than others. Always keep that in mind.
Yeah. Better than some, worse than others.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, man. So I just want to say thank you for sharing your story, man, with our audience. For the folks watching, I'll make sure that I put all of his contact info in the description. Take a look at what Mark's got going on, man. He's building out his portfolio. He's doing bigger and better projects in real estate, man. And you know, so we want to make sure we keep tabs and support the brother in any way.
And if you got a fourplex, make sure you hit him up.
Definitely.
That too, man. But listen, man, I just want to say thank you, brother. Thank you for sharing your story. We appreciate you as always, man. You know you family. Anything you need from us, we here, bro.
No doubt. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And to our audience out there, as we always say, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much you keep. Game elevates, and we shall see you guys on the next episode. Peace.